Thank you, Julene, for the introduction. It's an honor, and thank you for waking up early and come to my session. And my name is Michael Zhang, and today I'd like to talk about how to be successful in taking a game to a global audience. Uh, who I am, I think Julene already did a great introduction. I work for ZQ Game. It's a publicly traded gaming company in China with offices in many cities in China, Los Angeles, Seoul, Taipei, and cities in Vietnam. Um, we have over 3,000 employees and 30 studios globally. Myself, I'm a Chinese. I was born and raised in Beijing and went to Korea, pursued my MBA there, and came to the state in 1999, and I've been living in Los Angeles since then. So before I start, I'd like to ask all the audience a question. So how many of you are or app developers? Raise your hand. Okay. So how many of you, your title has been published in Asia, whether you did a self-publishing or through a third party? Okay, we got two, which is pretty good. So, which means I can fool wrong. I mean, if I say anything wrong, you guys don't recognize that. I'm just kidding. So in my topic, I'd like to talk about the current status of global gaming and the global mobile gaming market, roles and opportunities, and why you need to create a global mobile product, and how to do the globalization, localization, and the third is how to do the distribution from west to east and vice versa. So thanks, Newzoo, for the beautiful chart I can borrow. This is the recent update for 2014's projection for global game revenues. So there's some number I'd like to address. So total revenue is 81.5 billion, and the year-on-year growth is 8%. Gamers 1.7 billion. If you look at the numbers by region, APAC area makes the largest contribution, 36.8, almost $37 billion. North American, 22, and Western and East, Europe. If you look more specifically, the Asian market contributes 82% of the growth with the entire global gaming industry this year. And for the compound growth, annual growth rate is 12%, which is amazing. $37 billion and 817 million gamers. If you compare with the North American number, the compound annual growth rate is only 3.3%. And contributes 22 billion, but if we look at the year in 3 years, in the year of 2017, Asian Pacific area's revenue going to be doubled compared with North American market. So that's why we need to have this kind of discussion, how to do business globally. And also for Latin American, the growth rate is amazing, 14%. And so don't ignore that market as well. Of course, there are large market in Europe, always been. As you know, that's where mobile game and browser game came from. I can say. So let's come to the mobile gaming market. I don't want to repeat too many numbers, but if we look carefully, this is pretty interesting. So the year-on-year growth rate for North American, I don't know whether you can see it, is actually larger than the growth rate in Asia. So, I mean, because of the smartphones population and U.S. gamer, a lot of U.S. gamer, they don't call themselves a gamer, although they are playing, make a lot of times of playing mobile titles. So that's something, if you want to do things in mobile, do it right now, especially in the U.S. Okay, so mobile games has been experiencing a really high growth rate, and the opportunities for explosive success lies in global distributions. And here are some items needed for global service. I guess we all understand if you have globalized the product and if you have proper distribution channels. So I think over and over we all, have been hearing a lot of the concept of, creating the right project. So people saying creating the right product is half the battle. So you have to have a product that's suited for a global audience, and you need to localize, very precisely. So here's the list of top 10 grossing games in different regions. So the first one is in the U.S. So you can tell there are 6 casual games on the top 10 grossing in the U.S., but there are only 3 in China, 3 in Japan, and 3 in Korea. So it's too harsh to make the conclusion, but we can get a feeling Asian gamers more likely, preferred to play mid-core or more hardcore games compared to the U.S. gamer. So multiple factors involved in creating a global friendly title. Art direction. So does the art appeal to both Western and Eastern audience? Over the years, I started my gaming company here in the U.S. since 2006. So I've been struggling bringing Asian kung fu warrior titles, MMO client browser game to the Western market. I really hard to make a proper translation on those terms. UI and the user experience. UI is the user interface and the user experience friendly to global audience. Genre. Does the genre appeal to users in different territories? We can recall our last slides. Localization. Does the game support multiple languages? So not only when we talk about the game launch, we are talking about live operation, and we have to do it simultaneously among regions. So that always been a challenge. So combine best practice from the East and the West. So this is a really rough understanding from my team. So we try to come up with some solution or thinking why Western games are popular in Asia. Streamlined user experience, very polished title, polished games, and very unique gameplay. A lot of Asian titles, they are pretty good of getting ideas from Western developers. They invented a word called a reskin, and that's not a negative word, but I would say in terms of the creativity, there are a lot we have to learn from the Western developers. What Eastern features? Very deep gameplay and all kind of features. Gotcha, monetization. It's very interesting, and faster paced live operations. So we have over 100 million gamers in China. You can imagine our publishing team compared with the Western games. We do very frequent live operation, and when we introduce our Asian title to the U.S., like we published the Pocket Knights, it's become top grossing game in the U.S. Soul Guardian got featured by Google globally, and also was selected to be most favorite game of the week. And Pocket Knights also featured by Amazon, and we were picked by Amazon Fire as the first couple of developer. We do live operation technically on a daily basis. At least once a week, we'll do a major event. At least every another week, we're gonna do a kind of major update. So I think that's the good part. Asian publisher and developer can contribute in the mobile game industry. A very frequent update where with the events help us to maintain the retention rate and generate more revenue. So localization allows more users to enjoy your title. So much more than just language translation. Core idea and really precise, in detailed translation must be preserved. So you cannot mess up with the local audience with their culture expectation. And user experience must match the territory's culture, preference. Getting your product noticed by user worldwide. Featured by Apple and Google, of course, that's the key. But I can share with you a little trick. So this is off the record. If your game, from our experience, your game got featured in Apple, almost means everything. But it doesn't necessarily be true in China. I will explain that later. And PR, social media, Facebook, and all the events and game channels, forum, user acquisition, of course. There are companies been working with, they are trying to also expanding their business in Asia and helping the client with the global need. And also you need to find the partner that can help you to do the global publishing, such as like Gameville or ZQ Game, Glue, Gree, those also the DNA, phenomenal companies. So publishing Western title in the Eastern market. Offline marketing campaign in Taiwan and Korea is the key. So yesterday I went to a GMIC party. They have a panel speech. They invited Tommy from King.com to talk about how their PR and how their game could be successful globally. And I remember one audience asked a question. It seems like Candy Crush Saga is the only mobile game that did the commercials, TV commercials. So you don't see that quite often, but TV commercial is a must if you do business in Taiwan, and it's kind of true in Korea. So if you don't do the TV commercial, gamers don't consider you are a legitimate publisher. So that's something quite different from the US market. Social media marketing, that's the key. It's true for everywhere. Distributions by means of messaging apps, WeChat, 400 million users. Line recently filed IPO, 400 million users. I don't have the exact number for Kakao, but if if you're a publisher in China, if your game it's picked by WeChat, a kind of guarantee you can get a 10 million user so easily. So that's why, you know, you don't see that quite often. You work with WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger in the U.S. Tango, I don't know. Maybe they are working on something, but as has been proved such a powerful platform in Asia. So that comes the fun part for Chinese distributors. So I list some of the top Chinese mobile distributors in this slide. It's kind of funny. 360 originally was a browser, and then later on they concentrated on the internet security solution. But now 360 become the largest distribution channels in China. Baidu have their own game channel. That's different. That's a Chinese Google. Besides WeChat from Tencent, QQ Mobile is another channels that help developer to publish their game. That's Chinese word called Dangle. Dangle is Chinese download.com. So you don't find your game at download.com here in the US, but download kind of .com.cn become the platform for users to find the games in China, and also a lot of developers they first publish their game in that channel to test the game is suitable for the local audience or not, and to test their retention rate and ARPU. And then Youku is like YouTube in China. Youshi, PPS, those are the video and the TV contents platform. And this is the Kingsoft. There's a battery solution company. Wandojia is like it's a tool. You can that's the site you can go find all kind of new apps. Kugou is a music site. So you can see, I mean, as long as you get a volume, you got the traffic, those channels are all doing mobile publishing now. So you have to talk individually, one by one. You cannot miss any of those if you want to do the game publishing in China. Of course, jailbroken market. 26% user from jailbroken market. Surprisingly, that number is shrinking every year. Used to be over 50%, but now more gamers prefer to go to use non-jailbroken phones. 91. iTunes, as the tools, you hook up your computer with your phone. You don't have to go through the iTunes, and you can just do everything you want. I mean, upload files, you download files, app, a game. And Wayphone is a forum, but they got a lot of page views. This is 同步推. It's a kind of push notice of new titles coming. So those are the major players in the market as well. So as I said, like messaging apps as a mean of distribution, and large population of KakaoTalk, Line, and the WeChat, and here's the number of the percentage of user in different region. So you can see 82% of Chinese internet users are using, or phone user are using WeChat, which is amazing. And Line is really popular in Korea and also in Taiwan, and Kakao Talk, and they are all those messages are trying to go to North American market, and I know they are trying to make some buzz. So we'll see. For next year, this number must be changed. Yeah. Again, offline marketing, billboard, subway, TV, and we recently launched a game in Taiwan. Has been doing extremely well, and also it's funny thing, you need to work with a lot of smaller partner like mom and pops and 7-Eleven, mom and pop stores, and even ice cream co-branding campaign that works pretty well in Taiwan. So using conjunction with 9-in-1 user acquisition sees up to over 280% when compared the same campaign without offlines. So this is like the preliminary information. I don't know. I tried to cover a lot of information, but I think this is, I want to take it as an open conversation or discussion, because nobody has the golden formula to, guaranteed to be successful to running games in different regions. And global mobile publisher will help you to simplify all the process, localization, funding channels, and the QA. So I think that's it. We have 1 or 2 minutes for the questions. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Michael. Quick question. So you said that the jailbroken devices are on the decline. Why do you think that is? What's the trend? Why are users changing? Why is the interest level waning with that?
I think one of the reason is too complicated. I mean, you have to periodically update the firmware, and sometime when the new apps come out, it's not guaranteed to be deployed in the jailbroken market. Second thing is, I think, because a lot of gamers considers buying or downloading from the official site is become a habit. It's feel like in the past they feel like, I don't have to purchase this, but now because gamers are willing to spend more money and efforts in this market, so they rather to go directly with the app store to get the application. And a lot of new games, when they do the promotion, they do a free my app. So without without the actual effort, you can get the game in the official site. I'd like to see that happening. But thank you. Yes. You're asking the tips from bringing Asian titles to the U.S. Yeah, I think I can answer that. I've been doing that in the last 8 years. First of all, you need to find a title that is kind of suitable for the Western market. A lot of Asian mobiles, especially for Chinese mobile developer, come back from the browser game design background. So when they do the mobile design, the user interface still stay with the browser design. So a lot of buttons, so it's really complicated. So you need to tell the developer, you need to simplify all the UI and improve the user interface. The second thing is when you bring Asian title, especially Korean title, Chinese title to the Western market, gamers doesn't know how to play it because they don't understand the genre of Asian title. So you have to teach US or Western gamers through tutorials. A lot of time you have to redesign the tutorials. And third off, but not least, the in-game balancing. You cannot just please those big wheel. You have to make the game more balanced. And then frequent update are going to help you to keep the customer.
That's all the time we have right now. I want to thank Michael very much. He will be available, if that's all right, to answer your questions down here as well. So
thank you.
Thank you, Michael.